about it.
He's not saying that in his music. But my question was, how does
He's not. All right.
I agree. He is not saying that. But I'm saying, what is it that he can do as an artist to change how he's received? Explain that to me. Because I don't think a lot of people like him. I've been protecting him. Because I love him. I appreciate what his music. I appreciate his story and I appreciate his music. Not all of it. There's only so many.
Well, he can practice not perpetuating exactly what he is.
How can
I
he
feel
do
like
that?
he's a pawn in the white patriarchy society. He's doing exactly what they want him to do.
New slaves! What are you talking about? He's trying to.
And at the end of New Slaves, he calls himself the oppressor now. That's what he says at the end of New Slaves. So help me understand.
What was his last line of New Slaves?
It don't matter.
I'm gonna tear it down. You're the advocate for Kanye West. How you gonna tear down his lyrics? Help me understand. They trying to build it up. I'm gonna tear it down. He's trying to explain how he's trying to.
But he becomes the oppressor, which is the problem.
Why is it a problem?
If you were trying to get to any kind of sense of peace and equality in any kind of atmosphere, there cannot be an oppressor and there cannot be the oppressed. It can't exist.
But at some point, you get tired of shooting for equality when you ain't never getting equal.
So then what happens? You become the oppressor, and then you continue to perpetuate the cycle regardless. So Kanye West perpetuates the cycle.
To separate Kanye West from as an artist, in defining him as an artist, listen to his music. And I think a lot of who he has been defined as an individual, he's being defined as through his art. But listening to him in his brand is greater than just his music. That's in that separation is that as an artist, he has his music. But as an individual, as his brand, he's more than just an artist. He's more than just his lyrics.
I think that a lot of the branding for Kanye West goes into himself personally because he doesn't have branders for him. He speaks for himself. So I think that a lot of what you're getting in interviews and the face-to-face value and people antagonizing him about his lifestyles realistically come from him being that himself, this raw person. He's not taking on a personality of what is the common person want to hear me say. He's taking on a personal lifestyle, his own real image. So therefore, I feel like a lot of his artistic things, you only really hear them through the music. You can't really hear what he's saying, and I'm a Kanye West advocate too. A lot of his music really does perpetuate. It talks about breaking down this structure.
And you got to hear what he's saying as an individual as well, because in his interview he talked about how you remember I think it was the Watch the Throne album. Yeah, when he tried to have this this 3D all around you kind of experience of the music, and now he had an interview with New York Times about that, and that article was never praised. And in that article, him talking about this new brand of music being almost theatrical in a way was never talked about. But then when he said that some other either director or some individual said something about that, and it made it seem like Kanye West as an individual being an innovator in the music industry is degrading that. It's like, no, he's not very innovative. You listen to his lyrics, you don't see any innovation in his performances. No, you don't. But you do. That he has been trying to create this image, and I think that when in trying to listen to and try to understand Kanye West as an individual, it's taking both his lyrics into account and how that can reflect upon his character, but then taking what he says as an individual off the mic, off the microphone, off his lyrics, and see who he is as an individual. Aside from him being an artist, aside from him going in the booth and saying lyrics, but who he actually is and what he actually says. And in his action, I don't have anything to say in regards to his action in saying he's trying to do this or that. I can only take his word. I have not studied the things that he's done to provide for Chicago, provide for anything that he's trying to give back to, or any initiative he's trying to push. But he would say he is.